you see all that junk in the background behind me? I need to do something about that, and I need your help doing something about that. So today, we're going to start chipping away at that pile, as we did a couple days ago with the NECA unboxings that we did. We are going to do another NECA unboxing. What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing, like I just said before the intro, another NECA unboxing. Hey, yeah! First unboxing of the 2020s. Really big shout out to NECA. How did I forget to shout NECA out in my last two NECA videos? I guess because when I filmed those, it was just in my head that it's common knowledge that NECA is a sponsor of this channel, and it's common knowledge that they send me these figures to review. It's not like I ever hide that. I talk about it all the time. So I guess just in my head, I was like, yeah, everyone knows that. But I have to say, or at least I feel obligated to say here at the start of the video, NECA sends me all these figures to review. Everything that happens here is because of NECA. Huge shout out to NECA. I linked their website down below. Much love to them. Thank you very much, NECA. Also, by the way, just because they send me the figures doesn't mean I hide my opinions on them. If I don't like the figure, I don't like the figure. Or in the case of a figure like this, if I'm not in love with it, I'm gonna be honest and tell you guys that I don't love it. I think the eyes on this figure are goofy. They messed up the eyes on mine, and he's got this super wobbly, super loosey-goosey arm. Hey, Godzilla 154, how do I fix this? Do you know, is there a way to fix this? Because this arm straight up does not stay right anymore. It's like specifically at the elbow, it just super spins. You can't really do that with this other arm because it's the way it's supposed to be. But anyways, you know how we talked about this figure on the channel a few months ago? Well, now it is time to talk about this figure again, except that this time I think he's blue. I'm filming the NECA King of the Monsters stuff first because I have this guy still in my room. He has yet to go back down to the basement. And so I'm gonna do the stuff with him first so that I can just knock that all out of the way, and then I can put him back down to the basement and not worry about bringing him back up for the next unboxing. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably also, on that note, do the SH Monster Arts videos following my two NECA Godzilla figure reviews that I still have to do for King of the Monsters Godzilla. Do you know what I'm saying? So here's the box from NECA. I'm fairly confident this is the blue Godzilla. So let's pop this bad boy open and get him out. Saw this guy at the store a couple weeks ago, and I forgot that they sent him to me, and I almost bought it because it's a gorgeous figure. All right, let's check out the box, because we always check out the box first. On the front here, I don't remember what the original NECA Godzilla King of the Monsters box looks like. My bad. Is it Godzilla's gray face right here with that like weird greenish background of the waves? I think it is. I'm fairly confident it's this weird Godzilla image, but with that like weird green wave background. This is a better box. I like the blue poster version Godzilla. I like having that on here. This kind of is a poster version Godzilla, isn't it? Maybe not, because I actually think the Godzilla in here has the blue splits throughout cracks in his skin, you know, like he does in the movie when he charges up, and this poster version doesn't. On the top of the box here, you have your little Godzilla, got your King of the Monsters stuff, just tells you what figure it is, Godzilla, and you got your logo here, you got the 65 years, and NECA. Also, choking hazard, so don't eat it, kids, you stinky brainers. Like I said, front of the box is just Godzilla. And it looks like we got our little Monsterverse logo up here as well, which is cool. Top of the box, got your 65 years, Godzilla King of the Monsters, measurement, 12 inches head to tail, hinged jaw, Rodan should have had that, you know what I'm saying? Hinged jaw, and blast accessory, over 25 points of articulation. I always appreciate when NECA puts the articulation points so that I don't have to count them in the video. On the back of the box here, we have some display images of this Godzilla figure. We have Godzilla breathing his atomic breath onto a building. We have Godzilla breathing his atomic breath down at us. Then we have Rodan, Mothra, and Godzilla just showing the other characters they made figures for. Tells you to collect them all. There's the back of the box, just so you can see it all nice with the glare so that it blocks out the important details that you're trying to look at. Other side of the box here, we got Godzilla King of the Monsters, and we just got some movie description about like following the global success of Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island comes King of the Monsters. Then you got your little Godzilla face here, which is of course the Godzilla face here. Let's pop this thing open and see what's inside. I never look at the figures first, but I did just eyeball this, which is cool, another little display photo. It's not probably my favorite display photo of this Godzilla, but it is a cool one. And then there you can see my boy inside the box. Oh, it looks so good, does it not? I think this one is a beautiful looking figure. I love the blue throughout the body. I cannot wait to get this guy out. Let's check him out. So again, you always got that weird aircraft carrier battleship background. Don't know why, but you always have that. And then you have your instructions in the bottom telling you how to put the tail on. I always forget that I have to put the tails on these Godzillas. It's never any fun, but I always got to do it. Okay, so getting the figure out of the box comes in two little pieces here. We got one for the atomic breath base, which I guess I didn't realize they included, and then you have one for Godzilla and his atomic breath and his tail, so we'll worry about this later. Let's check out the atomic breath base first. So the atomic breath base just slides right on out of this. You don't need to worry about that. That went nowhere. And here's your little atomic breath base. It's a little cone, which is cool. It's just supposed to be like an explosion effect. I don't know where I'm going to be pointing his breath because I ran out of shelf room for my Neca Godzillas, so I need to find a new place to put them at the moment. But here's our little atomic blast. You got the like, I don't know what that was. I don't know why this exploded out of my head, but it did. So here you go. You've got, it kind of looks like Arctic ice caps, does it not? You have the atomic breath explosion effect. Pretty well painted here. I like the blues and whites. It gives it a little more detailing, so you got whites throughout here as well. Whereas if it was just blue or just white, it wouldn't look nearly as good. Like I said, it doesn't really look like an atomic breath explosion. It more so looks like Arctic ice caps or something, but you do have some well-defined explosion parts here, and they give it a cool shape. It is interesting how they have that weird little line around it. As you can see, I'm tracing with my finger. I don't know what that line's all about, but they got that weird line around it as well. On the back side, again, it's not like they could have messed this paint up. I don't know how they could have, other than if they just did one solid color. But here you have the bottom of the cone, and it does give it a nice little shape. Again, it looks like a little top of something. I guess it's cool. Oh, these black ties. I hate them so much. I figured it was only logical to get the atomic breath out next. It is secured in the box with a little plastic wire, but you can easily get that undone. So here's the atomic breath. It doesn't look like atomic breath on its own, but it does, I guess, when it's in his mouth. It certainly does in the promo images, but on its own, it just looks like blue stick or something. What does this even look like? A Q-tip? It's got white tips, and it does have like this cool wavy sculpt to it. The back of it does have the little white tip as well, so it can come out of his mouth. I don't know if this is supposed to be his supercharged atomic breath or his normal atomic breath. You kind of see a spiral around it if you look closely. You can see kind of here where I'm putting my finger, but it's not the greatest, most well-defined spiral, so I can't tell what version of the atomic breath it's supposed to be from the film. It does have this weird line that runs right across it that I don't know if you saw or not, where it appears the top half was sealed to the bottom half. That doesn't look great, but I'm sure you can't tell that from a distance, so that's fine. And then of course the way it's supposed to be displayed is shooting into this blast, or you can do it without. You can just have it like that, but the way they pose it on the box is shooting into this big effect, so that's cool. It does fit right on in there. That looks fine. Don't have a whole lot to say about the paint here as well. It's kind of a translucent blue and white. I'm sure it looks cool if you hold it up to the light. Well, I guess it just kind of blanks out to white, but I like that it's a new sculpted atomic breath rather than Neca just reusing one of the two that they keep reusing. So I like that this one's a new original atomic breath. Let's see what Godzilla is like. Well, that didn't take me nearly as long to get out of the box as it normally does. So he does come in two parts, the Godzilla and the tail, and they do snap together, but it's gonna need a blow dryer for sure. This tail is not going together any other way. So I'll go do that, and then I'll be right back to finish the review. Can you tell it's been a month since I filmed that intro? It hasn't. It's only been like an hour. I got the tail popped on there, so that's all good to go. And I also worked with some of the articulation because my figure came out the box a little wonky. This little underpart to his tail was originally popped to the side like this and sealed in place. So I had to snap it out of place to get it to be able to do what it's supposed to do and sit how it's supposed to sit. And this little part on the back of his neck, or I should just say his neck, is stuck behind that dorsal fin, and it takes some working with to try and move it. But I had to first of all crack it off the dorsal fin because it was originally just plastered right onto the dorsal fin. This dorsal fin was attached to this one at first. I haven't even given him a real good in-depth look yet. So it looks to me like the figure was all gray and then they added blue on top of it, because through the paint you do have some areas like this where the paint is chipped off, and then you kind of have that same deal happening all throughout the dorsal fins, like right here on the tail, and you can see it here as well. So you have that same thing going on all throughout the dorsal fins on the tail. You don't have it as much on this side of the body, or at least my figure doesn't, but you do have like this is another area where the blue is chipped off. And then with this area that I was telling you guys about where it's kind of plastered on, it left a little black part on this dorsal fin right here. You can see in the crevice where the paint ripped off onto the other dorsal fin right here. But overall, I think this Godzilla has a really cool paint job. I love the almost glowing effect. It's got like a weird sparkly effect with the blue. It doesn't really pick up well on my camera, but you can see this Godzilla is pretty much the same as the last one in terms of sculpt, so we're not going to recover the sculpt because it is the same sculpt as the original release, except that he's got blue teeth, and then throughout the design it's pretty similar. So you got all the same sculpt, except that this time it's all blue. So you have blue all over the place, kind of getting everywhere. The eyes are blue, the teeth are blue, everything's blue, the dorsal fins are blue, and then like I said, you do have the cracks throughout the skin of where the blue is showing through, and you see that through the arms as well. The arms are painted differently, so as are the legs, where you have a more Godzilla toned arm here, and then it goes into a more blue toned piece at the bottom. This piece I think looks significantly worse than this piece, but it doesn't look bad. And then again, you do have like more veins of blue all through the body. The dorsal fins are the true highlight here, where they do look great and they sparkle. It's awesome. And then through the feet, you don't really have much blue, and same with underneath. You don't have much blue, and then it goes all through the tail. You do have some turquoise on the bottom here, but that's about it. You do see a little bit in the legs sprinkled in, but not at the bottoms of the legs. Things that are weird on mine, I have this like weird chip right here, and then there's just like things like that throughout the figure that are a little weird. Overall, I like this guy significantly more than I liked the original 2019, because the original 2019 was a bit of a letdown, although I think the paint job's great on the body. I think the body looks great. It's just really the face that I dislike. This guy has a bit of a goofy face as well, because his bottom chin is kind of stuck into his top jaw a little bit, and I don't love that. But I guess you won't be able to see when I have him open mouthed with the atomic breath, and let's see how it just fits in, I'm assuming. It goes like this, because there's a little bite mark on the top of the atomic breath that you line up with his atomic breath. Then all together, it would look something like this when you display it. I think this is a significantly cooler figure than this. All they did was white out the eyes, and then they immediately solved the issue of the eyes looking in the wrong directions. Like that atomic breath, it just stays right in there. That's great. They solved that issue. I think the sculpt is a great sculpt, so they have that same thing here where it's really in depth, looks great, but the paint job here, it's just so much cooler than this paint job. Now, if I was only given the choice of one or the other, I would pick this because I like having the base colors more than I like having the atomic breath colors, but out of the two, I do like this figure more than I like this figure. I don't know if this guy dethrones Rodan as the new king of the monsters figures, but it certainly gives it a good shot. This guy is an awesome figure. I'm gonna give him another 9 out of 10, just like Rodan. However, I don't think he beats Rodan. That Rodan is just so cool. This guy's cool as well, don't get me wrong, but that Rodan is epic. I'll give you guys a close-up look of Godzilla firing the atomic breath. Now it's like a 3D movie. Look at that. Whoa. This is a really cool one. And here he is next to the 54. There you go. Not a real size comparison because I'm holding them, but there's the two of them together. They're about the same size. And I did notice that with the dorsal fins, Michael Dougherty always said he just took the 54 dorsal fins and put them right on this body. He kind of did. Yeah, he skipped this dorsal fin, the one that I'm touching right here, and added these two. So these two dorsal fins on Godzilla are new. This one is missing right here, this big one. But other than that, the dorsal fins are the same. Yeah, this dorsal fin is carried over to this dorsal fin. And this guy is carried over to this guy. This dorsal fin's from the original. This dorsal fin's from the original, as you can see here and here. So I think that'll do it for my review of the NECA Godzilla King of the Monsters Godzilla 2019 Atomic Breath version. I like this more than I like the original version of the figure. I will say the dorsal fins on this guy are a bit harder than the dorsal fins on this guy because they're painted, so this guy's dorsal fins can bend more than this guy's. But I don't know. That'll do it for this review of the NECA Godzilla King of the Monsters Atomic Breath variant. Do you have this figure? Do you like it? Let me know down below by commenting. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. D-Man out.